A 10-year-old girl is given a very thorough pat-down by a TSA agent. The screening lasts nearly 2 minutes. And look, she's barefoot because TSA agents have removed her shoes.
I'm confused. Why is that so odd? You have to take your shoes off anyway, as all of you've seen in the beginning of this video. So why is that so odd? I mean, more than likely, she wore sandals and had to take off her sandals, which means she didn't have socks on. You know, there was a point in time where the TSA wasn't a pain in anybody's keister until the 2000s hit. That's when a select group of terrorists thought it was a good idea to fly planes as if they were missiles. That resulted in thousands being killed. There was a time where you were able to carry guns on a plane. Now, you can't even carry hot sauce. Today, I have collected multiple videos of people's experiences going through TSA. Now, let's start with this gentleman.
Yo, 3 things that are not gonna make it past TSA Barber Edition, right? So number 1, do not bring no straight edge razors in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter if it's in a box, it doesn't matter if it's in a paper, they're going to throw it away, alright? They just threw mine away.
This gentleman is absolutely right. You're not allowed to carry anything sharp on an airplane. As far as I know, from my experience, razors are allowed, but razor blades are off limits. They will confiscate them.
Number 2, do not bring any holding spray, right? Tresemme, level 3, it does not matter. They're going to throw it away. They just threw mine away. Don't bring it. Number 3, do not bring your Andis Cool Care, your Babyliss Cool Care. It don't matter. They're gonna throw it away. Use me as an example today, y'all, and don't bring none of those 3 items, and you'll be good.
Basically what he's saying is that you can't bring anything in a sprayable can. They will confiscate that. I think it's because it's a fire hazard or something to do with the air pressure. But they will confiscate that and you'll never see it again.
I'm gonna teach y'all how to go through TSA because y'all be doing it wrong. The first thing we're gonna do is take off your shoes. So don't be wearing no complicated shoes with laces. We ain't got time for that. The next thing you're gonna do...
You know, one of the things that I never understood is the fact that they require you to take off your shoes. I just don't understand the purpose of it if the x-ray machines can't see what you have in your shoe or whatever. I particularly don't know. I will say this though, when you're going through those metal detectors, or whatever machine they have, not all of them are the same, it smells like a locker room because of everybody's feet being out in the open. I mean, it stank. No one wants to smell feet as they're trying to get to their flight. Here's something funny, however. I was once going through TSA and saw this lady in front of me who had like knee-high boots and they were laced all the way up. Could you imagine how long that took? I passed through TSA like, woo! I just zoomed through that. I didn't want to stick around much longer than I had to. She was still behind me and she started way in front of me.
Is not be this person in front of me. If there is room in front of you, scoot your stuff down and make room. Then you're going to put your bags or carry-ons. Usually you don't need a bin, but sometimes the airports are picky. Once you find the bins, you're going to put your shoes and anything that you have that is loose in those bins. If you have a laptop, you're going to put that in its own separate bin. Okay, you see all that room? If you have room, keep it moving. You're gonna stay with your stuff until TSA says that you're good to go. After you go through the x-ray, you're gonna grab your stuff and go to the closest bench, and that's where you'll put your shoes on.
I do have a side note, however. Does anybody really know why they require you to put electronics in another bin and not with the rest of your stuff? I'm just curious on that. I really want to know.
Take your laptops and electronics out the bag. If you got a hoodie on, take it off. Take it off. How many times have you touched? Sorry, is this your back? Hey, Dan, you see this young lady trying to get it on the back? Stupid ass. Over here.
I absolutely do find it funny, regardless if it's your first time flying or not. You can look up all these requirements on the TSA website before you go on your flight. And I can only imagine working as a TSA worker. how many people don't follow the rules. So I can completely understand why this gentleman is yelling. I would be frustrated too if I said the exact same thing tons of times. Once you have your stuff situated, you go through either a metal detector or one of these weird looking contraptions, which I can only assume is like an X-ray. I'm not completely sure of that. I do have to mention though, this gentleman in this video, his posture is very curious to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, oh, jeez. Man, real quick, I just gotta point this out. This guy's formation, his chest is puffed up, his butt is pushed all the way out, his arms are like that to the side, as if he's a scarecrow. What, is he competing for a bodybuilder competition? I mean, what is this? Almost seems like he's trying to display his dominance to the other males in the room. Of course, this woman is having a laughing attack over the situation at hand. Apparently, she has a wig connected to her hat, and trust me, I feel for the woman, but perhaps it would have been better if you got the wig separately from the hat? I mean, how would they know that it was your real hair or not? I'm just very confused why your, hair is connected to the cap. That just seems like a design flaw.
They're taking my hot sauce, so there it is, spicy Cam. She took it. Bitch probably wants it for herself.
Well, it also depends on where you're flying from. I do know contraband from out of the country is illegal to bring back into the States based on safety reasons. But one of the things that is listed at the TSA website is that you can't carry anything above 3.5 ounces in a bottle. How would I know this, you may ask? Well, I had Zit cream confiscated on my ride down to Florida, and then coming back, they confiscated my sunscreen. And keep in mind, it wasn't in like huge bottles either. And then the TSA agent had the audacity to ask me if I could hand it off to a person outside who drove us there. I don't even live in Florida. What would be the point? I just told her to chuck it. I mean, what am I gonna do with it? I mean, I guess I could have took the bottle, squeezed it on the floor, and put it back in my bag so it had the correct ounces. The real quick side note, this is my second time that my sunscreen was confiscated. I'm starting to think that these TSA agents want me to burn in the center of the sun, because I do not do well with those radiant rays.
They pulled me aside to check my bag of salt from Kauai. Takes a pinch out of the bag to test it. Uses a test kit to check what substance it is. shakes it up to get the results. Reads it carefully to see what it is. It's negative, it's just salt.
Alright, to be fair, why are you buying salt from, what was it, Kauai? Whatever? I mean, that is a weird buy when all salt's pretty much the same. I know people are gonna argue with me on that, but it pretty much is. I mean, that within itself is suspicious. Let alone, why is it in a Ziploc baggie? Like, legit, it's in a Ziploc baggie. I would be suspicious too. For all I know, you could be Walter White.
Video causing outrage. A 10-year-old girl is given a very thorough pat-down by a TSA agent. She is slowly patted down on her buttocks, chest, tummy, and legs. The screening lasts nearly 2 minutes. And look, she's barefoot because TSA agents have removed her shoes.
I'm confused. Why is that so odd? You have to take your shoes off anyway, as all of you've seen in the beginning of this video. So why is that so odd? I mean, more than likely, she wore sandals and had to take off her sandals, which means she didn't have socks on.
I was very angry, very angry, and I felt like screaming, throwing a tantrum, running out of there.
It happened at Raleigh-Durham International Airport in North Carolina. 10-year-old Vendela Payne was returning home to San Diego with her dad.
It was not a justified search.
How is it violating? Look, I am not deluded. We live in a world which is super crazy, okay? Like I stated in the beginning of this video, I mean, people will do anything for any reason. So, how is it out of the ordinary? It's totally feasible. You could put something on a child and have them walk through TSA and bring it on a plane. I'm not saying that people would do this or this gentleman would do this. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if a child brought illegal substances on a plane because of adult threatened them to do so.
It was an unnecessary search. It was really violating my daughter.
He says the pat-down was triggered after TSA agents discovered a carton of juice in her purse. When her dad objected to the pat-down, listen to what a TSA agent told him.
Guess what? We don't live in a make-sense world.
We do find it a little ridiculous that they're doing a pat-down over a carton of juice, but who knows if the metal detector went off or whatever. I'm not in this situation. I wasn't there for that situation, but I'm sure there's more to the story than what they're leading on. And as far as I'm seeing from this video, this TSA agent ain't doing anything out of the ordinary. It looks very much like a standard pat-down.
Yes, that TSA agent went well past the line in this search. But there is also support for the TSA agent. I don't see anything of the agent doing her job. The TSA said in a statement, the process by which the child was patted down followed approved procedures. It's not the first time TSA agents have been accused of crossing the line. This wheelchair-bound tyke who suffers from spina bifida was so upset by being patted down, she even changed her mind about every child's dream vacation.
Again, I wasn't there for the situation. I don't know if the metal detector went off or whatever. A juice box, doing a pat down over a juice box seems a little out of the ordinary for me. But who knows what exactly happened that day. Like I just said, it is totally feasible that someone could sneak something through TSA on a child onto a plane to take it back to who knows where. Unfortunately, we live in a sick, messed up world where up is down and down is up. Unfortunately, that is the reality of things. I wish it wasn't so, but if you can think of something, if it can happen, it will happen. Do I want it to happen? No, of course not. But there's a lot of evil people in this world and they'll do anything for their own benefit. That's it for this video. If you guys have any videos in which you would like me to react to, leave it down in the comment section below. Until then,